Good afternoon. Welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Community Development and Regulatory Services Committee for today, August 8th. We do not yet have quorum, but we're going to start the meeting and await quorum. And as soon as there is another member here, we'll begin the meeting. I apologize for making you all wait, and hopefully we'll be able to start shortly. Thank you for your patience. I've been joined by council members Quincy, Fry, Reich, and Morsami, which is a quorum of the committee. We have a number of consent agenda items today, including items 5 through 15. The notable items include a couple of license settlement conference recommendations, pushing through 2 projects that didn't meet their timelines that are now getting new timelines from the Affordable Housing Trust Fund, approving projects from Hennepin County's HRA for financial assistance, approving the MOU that the city has worked out with the park system regarding the Downtown East Commons park dedication fee, setting our public hearing for our HUD CAPER report, and consolidated an evaluation plan, as well as allocating funding through HOPWA, Housing Opportunities for People with AIDS. Are there any items 5 through 15, that anyone would like to pull for discussion? Seeing none, I'll move the consent agenda. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Those items are approved. If you were here for any of those, you are not required to stay. I'll note that item number 4, which is a quasi-judicial public hearing, has been postponed. I'll ask the clerk, did you want me to open the public hearing in case anyone was here today? Okay, I'm going to move then to postpone item number 4. Are there any comments or questions about item number 4 being postponed? Seeing no comments or questions on the motion to postpone, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Those items are approved. We'll then move to item number 1, which is a land sale. Ms. Perrell, thank you for being here.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and council members. I'm before you today with a land sale report approving the disposition of property at 1403 Harmon Place, 45 Spruce Place, and 1400 Yale Place. To provide a little context on these properties, the historic Alden Smith House at 1403 Harmon Place is located on the Minneapolis Community and Technical College campus and owned by the state of Minnesota. In 2014, MCTC decided to explore selling the historic Alden Smith House in order to save the building from further deterioration. They commissioned a feasibility study, and the study found that in order to make a sale and rehabilitation of the historic house possible, the 2 contiguous parcels would need to be sold with the mansion, providing the opportunity for new construction to offset the excessive rehabilitation costs. In June of this year, the City Council authorized staff to coordinate a pass-through sale of the subject properties from the state of Minnesota to the developer, W Plus Nordic. Today, I'm presenting the land sale and redevelopment terms negotiated with the developer since June. A few key terms recommended in the report include a $1 purchase price, a closing date within 1 year. The City Council approves these land sale terms with pre-development milestones along the way. new construction of a multifamily housing development, rehabilitation of the Alden Smith House, as listed on the National Register of Historic Places, consistent with Heritage Preservation Commission, State Historic Preservation Office, and National Park Service approvals. Construction and rehabilitation together will include approximately 90,000 square feet of housing with about 65 to 80 units to be leased at market rate. Historic Mansion will be integrated into the overall site development and house the resident amenities, office space for site management, and about 7 to 10 apartments on the upper floors. Finally, I'd like to note that MCTC remains actively engaged in moving this project forward, and we have a representative from the developer here today, Mr. Brian Woolsey.
Mr. Woolsey, do you have anything you'd like to say? Okay. Are there any
With
other?
that, I can take questions if there are any.
I just have one question, and that is, will the project team be coming back to the city with anything, or is this kind of it until the entitlement process?
This is it until the entitlement process.
Okay. Are there any other questions for staff? Seeing none, this is a public hearing on item number 1, which is a pass-through land sale of the Alden Smith home at 1403 Harmon, 45 Spruce Place, and 1400 Yale Place. Is there anyone here to speak to this issue? Anyone? Anyone? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Councilmember Frye.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move approval of this item and just want to thank the team that has been involved. I know it's a very complex venture, but I think it's one that will be well worth it in Councilmember Goodman's ward.
Further comments or questions on item number 1? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That item is approved. Thank you for being here today. We'll move on to item number 2. Mr. Curtis, welcome.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. What you have before you here now is a request from Catholic Elder Care for host approval for bank-qualified, bank direct revenue bonds to be issued by the city of Hillside and Lauderdale. In order to do this, the city has to consent to that. Normally, in the course of a year, the MCDA is the issuer of these types of bonds. We are limited to $10 million per year. We've already had approval of $9.4 million, and those are closed. So the city is unable to provide any of the assistance. It's an $18 million project in Northeast Minneapolis for 69 units of senior citizen housing. There's a representative here if you should have questions.
Are there any questions for staff on item number 2? I will go ahead and open the public hearing on item number 2, which is approving and consenting to the issue of bonds for Catholic Elder Care's project in North Minneapolis, I believe about to be called the Hofstede campus. Am I close? Would you like to come up and say a few words about what you're doing? This is a public hearing. I would invite you to do so.
Yes, my name is Mike Shasky, and I'm the finance person at Catholic Elder Care. Yeah, we plan to build a 69-unit building there, and we are going to rename our campus the Albert Hofstede facility. He was so important to our development. It was without him, it would have never happened. So, all right, thank you.
Public hearing. Councilmember Frye.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm so pleased to move approval of this item. Catholic Elder Care has been a mainstay in the Northeast community and specifically the St. Anthony West neighborhood for quite a long time. It is community oriented. They are engaged. We have our neighborhood association meetings there. And I can't tell you how much it contributes to the city and the community as a whole. And so thank you for your work. We obviously need to enable people to be able to age in place. And there are those who have grown up in Northeast, who love Northeast, who cherish Northeast, and they don't want to leave Northeast. And this gives them the opportunity to stay. And furthermore, I'm really glad you're calling it the Al Hofstede. What is it? The Al Hofstede? Albert J. Hofstede Senior. I mean, so I'm in office right now because I beat Albert J. Hofstede's sister-in-law to win election. So he had absolutely no reason to like me. But he was so warm and mentoring and loving from day one. I remember the very first controversial issue that I was dealing with, and I was getting beaten up pretty good. Now getting beaten up pretty good, I just call that a Tuesday. But at the time, this was my first experience really having to get hit. And Al gave me a call, and I was a lobbyist, and I fully anticipated him advocating for one side or the other, and I honestly didn't want to hear it at that point in time. So he gives me a call. I was sort of gearing up for the ask, and he says, "Hey, just checking in. How are things going?" And I told him, "Well, having a rough time right now." He's like, "Yeah, it'll pass. But I just want to know if you're enjoying yourself in your job." So yeah, I am. I really am enjoying myself. And the ask never came. It was all just loving and warm words, and that was really who Al was. And so I think it's really emblematic of the community, but also of Al Hofstede that we're doing this project right now. And just wanted to say thank you, and very happily move approval.
On the motion to approve, are there any further comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That item is approved. We'll move on to the last item on our agenda, Mr. Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have an application by the Pimento Jamaican Kitchen, 2524 Nicollet Avenue South, to upgrade their license. They currently are operating with a on-sale wine and beer license, Class B, and they would like to upgrade to full liquor with Sunday sales, Class B. They have been operating at this location successfully since 2015. The owner is Derek Beavis. A public hearing notice was required for today's public hearing. We notified all residents and property owners within 600 feet of this establishment. We also notified the Whittier Alliance. We received no responses for or against the application. They seem to meet all of our requirements, and staff's recommendation is that the application be approved.
Are there any questions for Mr. Wilson on his report? Seeing none, we'll open the public hearing on item number 3, which is a license upgrade for Pimento Jamaican Kitchen. Is there anyone here to speak to this issue? Please step forward, state your name and address for the record.
Tommy Beavis, aka Derek Beavis, 53 Oliver Avenue South, but representing Pimento Jamaican Kitchen at 2524 Nicollet Avenue South. Where's the rum? That's the most frequent yet frustrating question I get at Pimento, because for those who know that before there was jerk chicken or before there was red stripe, there was rum that made Jamaica what it is. The pirates knew that, the British Navy knew that, and that's what made Jamaica what it is today. So we have been slow and intentional in how we've grown Pimento. We wanted to ensure that we've mastered the food side of the business first before we even considered expanding. And so now we're at the stage where we're ready to answer the question in the affirmative when people ask us, where's the rum? Imagine coming and get your jerk chicken and then having a nice rum punch with dark rum, white rum, pineapple juice, orange juice, and grenadine. Thirsty yet? Don't worry. Hopefully, with your approval, we'll be able to offer that very soon. Thank you so much for having us, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Are there any questions for Tommy on item number 3? Seeing none, thank you for being here today. Is there anyone else here who would like to testify? Anyone? Anyone? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Councilmember Fry.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move approval of this item. I'm very excited to expand the operation, and I hope you guys continue to expand. The food is legendary. Kill them with it will actually kill you. I've killed them with their hot sauce, which is unbelievably tasty and really hot, but you'll be feeling it for the next couple days. And in addition, and I think what you really are providing is the full Jamaican experience along with the rum, and I think it is definitely worth it. I can't wait to try it out, and I also can't wait till the day when we can give the full Jamaican experience once we have some legalization of other products.
On the motion to approve Councilmember Fry's motion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That item is approved. And on that note, we have no further business in front of us. We are adjourned.
All right.